I woke up to the sound of glass shattering. For a moment I thought it was a dream, the kind where your heart races but you can't scream. But when I opened my eyes, I saw him standing there. Ethan. My stepbrother. His face was pale under the dim hallway light, and in his shaking hand, the knife caught the reflection of my bedside lamp. Ethan. My voice came out cracked, hoarse. What are you doing? He didn't answer. He just stared like he wasn't really seeing me, like I was someone else. Then he stepped closer. The first stab wasn't deep. More like a punch that burned. My scream was swallowed by the storm outside, rain hammering against the windows as he struck again and again. When I woke up in the hospital 2 days later, I wasn't sure what was real anymore. I had always tried to believe family was something you could build, even from broken pieces. My mom married Ethan's dad when I was 15. He was 17. Charming, quiet, always polite in that calculated way that made teachers adore him. I wanted to trust him. I did. We shared late-night talks when Mom and his dad fought downstairs. He told me things he said he'd never told anyone. About his mother's death, about his anger, about feeling like he didn't belong. I thought we were the same. Two people caught in the wreckage of adults who didn't know how to love right. But the night before he stabbed me, I discovered something that made everything unravel. It started with a notification on my phone, an email from my mom's account. It wasn't meant for me. The subject line read, "You have to tell her before I do." I shouldn't have opened it. But I did. The message was from Ethan's father. It said, "If she finds out the truth about the money and what we did with her father's house, it's over. Keep her quiet. Distract her if you have to." My father's house. The one Mom swore she sold to pay off debts after his death. I felt cold reading it, like something inside me had gone still. That night I confronted Mom. She tried to spin it at first. Said I misunderstood. Said the money went toward a family investment. But her eyes darted toward the living room where Ethan sat pretending to study, his jaw tight. And that's when I realized, he knew. They'd sold my father's house, my inheritance, to cover Ethan's father's debts. Every piece of memory I had of my dad. Gone, traded for their survival. When I demanded answers, Ethan followed me upstairs, saying he could explain. His voice trembled when he said, "It wasn't supposed to hurt you." Then his eyes darkened. "But you weren't supposed to find out. The doctors said I was lucky. The blade missed my lung by less than an inch." Lucky. That word haunted me. It echoed through every sterile hallway, every whisper from the nurses who didn't meet my gaze. My mom visited once. She cried for 5 minutes, told me she didn't know what came over Ethan, that he'd snapped. But her tears dried the moment I asked if she'd go to the police. She said, "We're family. We need to protect each other." Family. That word made me feel sick. When I told the detective everything, the emails, the lies, the stolen house, he looked at me like I was the first person who'd ever refused to stay quiet. Ethan was arrested the next day. My mother and his father stood behind him in court. They didn't look at me once. During the trial I learned more than I ever wanted to. Ethan hadn't just snapped. He'd planned it. My discovery threatened everything. Their money, their reputation, their facade of success. His father was facing bankruptcy. My mom had hidden the sale illegally. Ethan's defense said he was emotionally unstable, that he was influenced by the toxic dynamics of a blended family. But when the judge asked him why he did it, Ethan didn't mention his parents. He said, "She was going to ruin us. She thought she was better than us. I wanted to make her stop." His words didn't hurt as much as my mother's silence did. When the judge announced the verdict, guilty on all counts, the courtroom was so still I could hear my own heartbeat. My mom's hand trembled, but not for me. She turned to Ethan's father, not me, as the officers led Ethan away. It was then I understood the true betrayal. It wasn't the knife. It was the laughter. When I testified, I described that night, how he stood in my doorway, how he didn't flinch. I heard someone in the gallery laugh. My mother. A broken, hysterical laugh that didn't sound human. She said, "It wasn't supposed to get this far." After the sentencing, I walked out of the courthouse alone. The sky was pale, washed out, the kind of morning where the world looks almost clean enough to believe in again. But I didn't. People say healing takes time. They say forgiveness is strength. I don't believe that anymore. My stepbrother took my body from me that night. My mother took something deeper. My sense of belonging, of safety, of what love was supposed to mean. But standing there, the wind cold against my scars, I realized something else. Sometimes the only justice that matters isn't what happens in court. It's the quiet decision to stop letting the people who broke you define what comes next. And as I walked away from the courthouse steps, I didn't look back. Not once.